The content knowledge of educational technology was a little bit more difficult of an area for me to focus on because the biggest point that was made about educational technology is we don't teach it as its own content area. We do teach safety and digital driver's licenses and things that help the students to be better users. But the time of making whole computer classes by themselves has really evolved. Technology is ingrained within our everyday life. So the practice of becoming an expert in it and creating a class for students doesn't really apply in all situations. Now, if you're going to advanced learning and space travel and all those other things, most certainly you're going to want to become specialized in that area. In this section, I mostly spoke about understanding by design, working your way backwards where you have a goal that you want to achieve, and having the students think more in depth about their own learning, how they identify themselves as a learner. I appreciated the different facets of understanding that we tried to achieve, items such as perspective, empathy, self-knowledge. And it's just real important for students to understand that school isn't just a place for them to go. School is a place for them to become incredible, to practice those skills that they have and to employ them. And as an educator, again, I'm not the sage on the stage, just like the picture that I put here. I certainly don't know everything, and for me to share that with students that I don't know everything, but I know how to go find out and to have them come along on that journey with me is a very valuable lesson. The artifact that I shared in regards to content knowledge was just the process of what I went through to set up a blogging community with a proposed classroom. I did have some former students actually check into my blogging site and have them write a bit. I certainly didn't have enough for variety, but just to kind of get the ball rolling and to demonstrate how it went. And this was created with the idea of understanding by design, that pedagogy. And I just outlined the process that I went through with creating Classy Community, my blogging site, which I most likely will employ this next school year with students because I'm in charge of writing. And I think that it's valuable for students to not only share with their peers, but to also understand how to react with their peers. So we're really covering a multitude of areas in this process. The outline of what they need to know and what they do with that also aligns itself with assessment, because it's one thing to try to get students to understand an ideal, but we measure, we assess by the results of a product. We have that evidence. And so what things are we looking for that demonstrate that they have this ideal that we're trying to get them to grasp? The assessment rubric, how that's outlined. It was very difficult for me to put a table in on the site here, but I hopefully laid it out clearly enough for understanding. And also I put in the questions that I presented to my own peer group about the blog and my discussion on that, and even just the justification of why I did things. It wasn't a defensive, oh, I have to justify everything I do. It was more of a helpful verbal processing for myself to make sure that I was really on track with what I wanted to achieve here.